All right, welcome. We're
Thank
live.
you.
So yeah, the thing with the mic is just keep it kind of the
Close.
trick is like 6 inches. If you get closer, it sounds more like
Okay, I'm gonna estimate what I think 6 inches
that's
is.
pretty good. I
Okay.
mean, it's just keeping it pretty close. That's all. So Macy, how's life? We haven't seen each other in so long.
We really haven't seen each other in a long time. It's really changed since I last saw you.
Right. Last time we had a Zoom call with Magnus,
Yes, you're right. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Which was in like March or April or something.
something like that,
Yes,
and we talked about you had something going on with college.
I did.
You had a
Something big.
play. I want to check in on
Yes.
both of those things.
Well, in terms of play, I mean, we left college, obviously,
Right.
and I was in a musical at school, and we had like hopes to do it again, either when we we supposedly came back in, when was it, like April, but obviously that didn't happen, or when we came back in the fall. And I was really excited about it because I was like, the best part of going to college in general was that
This theater.
experience. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I not theater in general, just that particular experience. Because I did a theater internship this summer, and
Right in San Francisco for the
yeah,
virtual
and it was
play.
all online, and it was just like, I'm not gonna like, I don't know. I feel like every every time I do stage management, it ends up being like one of the most painful things I've ever done, and yet I keep doing it.
That's stage management.
I don't know if I'm like a masochist or if that's just the job, but like
Right.
we'll say it's just the job.
Yeah, no, totally.
Um,
It's a tough job. It's
yeah,
a very tough job.
it
Of course,
is.
yeah.
I don't know why I said I wanted it as my career because I don't know. It's just like
So you're reconsidering that.
I am reconsidering it.
Uh-huh.
Working with actors is really difficult. I mean, as an actor, I know you can instantly forget how hard it is for everybody else, and everything is just so focused on yourself. And that's been in every experience I've had.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I don't know if I want to be one anymore.
Okay, but how did the play go?
The Shakespeare one, and
The virtual Shakespeare.
it actually turned out pretty well for what we had. It was basically. Did I say this to you? It's
All I know is that you were talking about lighting, and that was the big issue.
all right. So
That's
it's
all I know.
basically like every person in a Zoom was in a Zoom call, and they all had their own green screens, and we had this like tech wizard come in and put all of like splice everybody into the same screen, so it looked like they were all in the same room.
Wow,
Um,
that's cool.
Yes, and he like coded buttons for every scene, and it was really cool. It was a very like technical thing that nobody could have done except for him.
Hmm.
And I mean, it is a 3 hour long Shakespeare play, so I'm not sure how many people actually want to watch it, but we did the best with what we
I'm
could.
sure it was amazing.
I mean, it's still going. I think I'm watching it with my
Oh, wow.
parents tonight because they haven't seen it and they want me to explain it to them. So.
That's awesome. Do you want to plug it? Is there a way to plug it? If
Uh,
not, you can't. No worries. But that'd be
I
pretty
mean,
sick. That just sounds really interesting.
it was I mean, the bad part about it was working over 40 hours a week unpaid.
40 hours a week.
Yeah, it was
Because
like
you were there for
8 hour
like
days, 10 hour days.
every
and-
rehearsal. No.
Yeah, and it was
wow.
like way more than I thought I was getting because when Carrie, my sister, had a unpaid internship, it was like like half days. So I don't know.
They forgot to specify that it was 40 hours a week.
Exactly. I was
Jeez.
super unhappy with that.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I don't know. Some parts of it were good.
But this was in the summer though, no?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
This
At least
ended
that wasn't
a couple weeks ago.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Yes.
Well, that sounds awesome. If there's a way to check it out, I'd love to check it out.
It's on SF Shake's YouTube channel on
SF
Saturdays
Shake's
and
YouTube channel.
Sundays.
Pop in, guys. Check it out. It's like going
It's
in like
live,
live.
yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. It's not recorded. I love that. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I love how people are figuring things out. So also we were talking about school. So what's your plan
Yes.
for school?
um,
I know you were a little not sure about it, and
when I was talking to you guys, I wasn't sure about it. I started out my freshman year of college at the University of Notre Dame,
right.
which is in Indiana, and that was a huge culture shock for me.
Sure, absolutely.
I don't know. Well, I'm not a huge football fan, and that's a huge football school. Not that that matters
Yeah.
anymore because of COVID, but it was a big.
Your team wrecked us, unfortunately.
Yeah, we did, and you tried to tell me that it was a bad ref call. I don't believe that for
It
one
definitely okay. We're not gonna get we don't want the podcast to be 3 hours long of Macy and I arguing over it because
the
it was
funny
about
thing is,
it
I don't
was
even care, but I would argue with you.
no, it was a bad ref call, but that's just okay. Never mind. Go ahead. So you don't like the football school. You don't really care as much.
I
that
don't
it's a
care as
football
much.
school.
I don't know. It was a lot of like, I don't know. Saturdays were so devoted to football, and
Right.
just getting up in the morning early and like instantly everybody's drinking, and it was just like a culture that I'm not sure I was super happy with, even though it was kind of fun sometimes, you know.
Sure,
and
yeah.
after football season ended, I don't know, I had this like feeling of like every day feels like Sunday. I hate Sundays. It was like I just felt like kind of empty all the time, just doing homework and not really knowing how to.
You felt like you were missing something, kind of.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And I just felt like very trapped for some reason. And so after I left for winter break, I came home and I like had this feeling of I don't want to go back at all.
Oh, wow.
And I like couldn't get over that, and I was like, I think I probably cried about it to my mom. And I don't know if it was irrational or if it was just a really strong feeling, but we were like, okay, I think it was such a strong feeling that I was like, I think I want to start the transfer process, which is a hell of a feat. It's like horrible.
Yeah, I can
I
relate.
was doing 5 classes along with a musical, along with transfer applications, which is basically just college applications all over again.
Right, I just had to do that for one school. I can't imagine doing that for more than one.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
It was not good, and like my classes were a little bit easier second semester, but along with the musical and everything, I had to like block out 2-hour chunks, and like it was super weird because I couldn't tell my roommate where I was going to like work on these things with like and talking to my dad all the time, and it was like a big mess. But I ended up applying to 4 schools, getting into 2 of them, and I'm ended up after a long decision process transferring to Northwestern, and
That's
I'll be
awesome.
going in like 2 weeks.
That's so congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
That was your dream school, no? Or a top
yes,
school
it was.
for you.
It was my in quotes my dream school. It was my ED school the first time around.
Right.
So I applied for theater and I got deferred and then I didn't get in. And now I'm in for film. So we'll see.
That's
how that
awesome.
goes.
I don't know about their film program at all.
It's good. I think the prereqs are a bit of a. I mean, they have like a 3-hour film lab, which apparently is kind of useless. But I've heard good things about the rest of it, and I just want to learn. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, so.
That seems amazing.
You're
and
doing film too, right?
I'm doing a minor in cinematic arts, yeah.
Nice.
So
Okay.
a little bit. And then also a minor in comedy, and that's also in the cinematic arts school.
Oh,
so,
very nice. Well, USC has the best like film school, doesn't
you
it?
know, we do have the best. No, no, they have a really good program, so I'm super hyped to do that as well. But that's so cool. So where is Northwestern?
It's in Evanston, Wow, I almost said Indiana again. That's where
You're
Notre
going
Dame
back
is.
to Indiana? No.
Evanston, Illinois, which is right outside of Chicago.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
you've been to Chicago now?
I was born in Chicago.
So
actually.
this feels a little more at home to you.
Well, I
maybe.
mean, I was in Chicago for 2 years, but
Okay.
But yes.
Get some flashbacks maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, my grandparents live right outside of Chicago. Like I've been there more times than I've been to Indiana. So.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. That's so good. That's life for you, right? You got to figure it out. Things are never going to go as planned. No one expected this to happen with the virus. No one
Yeah,
expected.
really.
I mean, I didn't think you planned on transferring, but it is what it is.
I really didn't. So.
Yeah, and that's life, and that's what makes it awesome. No, that's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
So are you doing so? Oh, okay. I just got a text. So you figured out your school thing. What's the plan? Are you going to be doing online or are you going to be doing in person?
I am supposedly doing like all online with like maybe some hybrid stuff.
Oh,
mixed
so
in.
you're gonna head over.
I am supposedly going to a single on
Right.
September 5th or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm really scared they're gonna pull the plug and I'm gonna be stuck doing online classes at home.
Right. Just try not to party too much, right? That's the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that you really have to worry about me on that one.
Oh yeah. No, but like you saw the thing at like Syracuse.
What about Syracuse?
Oh, you didn't see that? It was like this thing where let me see if I can pull up an article real quick. Syracuse University COVID, because what happened was like this group nearly it says it's more than it was like apparently it was like 400 students like ran around the quad just to like run around the quad.
God.
And it was like it like forced them to shut down the school. That's what I heard. And it suspended 23 students
Oh jeez.
and warns of COVID shutdown after large gathering. Something like that.
Well, actually,
Jeez.
Notre Dame just
And I heard I
Yes.
vaguely heard something about Notre Dame too.
Notre Dame just had a couple of off-campus parties, and now the kids are doing online classes for 2 weeks in their dorms trying to quarantine because they have like 300 cases or something like that.
Wow.
Yep.
Jeez, it's kind of going everywhere. It's moving around
It
into
just
the
makes
college
I don't know. I don't
campuses.
know if I expected any better, but it's just it's making the chances that I get to go back really a lot worse. And
Yeah.
you don't get to go back at all, right? You're staying here.
Well, if I wanted to get an apartment, I mean, I could just go in the area, but no, like campus housing is extremely limited. I think for people who like really need it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, I'm staying here. I'm doing online. I just had my first week of online school.
And was it good?
It was interesting. It was good. It's very different because coming from SMC, right, community college, very low key. The classes weren't necessarily easy, but I mean, they were kind of easy. But it was like good, and it was like a good transition into the college,
Yeah.
work ethic and lifestyle, kinda, because it was community college and there was a bunch of old people. But it was it was a good transition.
Yeah.
And then coming to USC, it's like, okay, now I'm gonna actually have to like now I have to study like a lot, and now the work is gonna be there,
Yeah.
So it feels like it's a more, high, college study ethic work
Yeah.
thing. You know what I'm trying to say? It just
Yeah.
felt like a step up. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it. But it was a fun first week. I like it. I have taken 2 PR classes because I'm
Nice.
a PR major, and then I only have 3 more GEs. Have you finished? Is that something you had to deal with
It's
your transfer?
all. I don't know if I mean, it's all fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I finished Spanish technically at Notre Dame, and I have to take it again at Northwestern because I tested badly.
What Spanish level are you in?
I technically completed 2 years of Spanish at Notre Dame,
Yeah.
which is the same requirement as Northwestern, so I figured it would transfer.
Right,
It
that makes
didn't.
sense. Oh.
I had to take a Spanish placement test, and I got the equivalent of an AP3, which is on the AP test 3, which is what I got in junior year of high school.
Right,
which is
I'm like
really
that.
sad.
No, I mean I know you're better than that. No.
I'm not. The thing is,
What?
I'm not. I could be good at anything but Spanish.
Do you
like,
understand Spanish?
No. I
No.
have taken it for 6, and now I'll be taking it for 7 years, and I cannot speak it at all.
How was the Spanish at Notre Dame compared to TAM?
It was a struggle to get into an easier class. I got into the easier class because I tested into a level I should not have been in. And the woman was really nice, so I got through it somehow.
Nice.
But I suck at Spanish, and there's no getting around that. So I think I just have to keep taking the classes till I'm finally actually done.
But I found when I was at SMC is the Spanish was so much better. So
It was
much
better for sure. I just don't know if I actually learned anything.
I felt like I learned so much. Like not like I'm obviously not fluent or like can barely carry a conversation, but compared to how the TAM Spanish was,
Okay, well that's a really low bar.
it's a really low. But I was like, wow, like I'm starting to like understand a little bit more. And I also was living with my grandma who's from Mexico.
Well,
and
that helps a
that
little bit,
definitely
yeah.
helped a bit. I learned like some slang, and then when we have a housekeeper who came by once in a while, and I would say things, and she'd just start laughing at me, but it was okay, It just was what it was. Okay, so the college, I think it's different for everyone with the college process right now. No, just like
Yeah.
with figuring out how college is, but it seems like you're in a good place, and that you figured out what you want to do. So that's awesome. That's so cool.
Thank you.
What are you up to? What have you been up to? Have you been doing any other non-school activities or jobs?
Well, you said non-school. I was gonna say that I took a class this summer, but it's like not an interesting class, so we don't have to. Let's not talk about
What is it called? I just want to know what it's called.
Microeconomics.
Okay, never mind.
Oh my god, it was like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
But I'm done with it. Other than that, like we've been inside the whole time.
Yeah.
I went to Oregon, I went to Santa Barbara, and I got roller skates. Those are the 3
Oh
other
my God, you
things.
got roller skates.
Yeah.
Those do they match the aesthetic of your pants?
Well, see, what is the aesthetic of my pants?
Okay, I just talked myself into a hole here. Jeez, I don't know. You have so many different colors.
Exactly. How would I
You have
match?
so many. Does it match the color? Does it match the look of your
I
outfits?
don't think I have a
that
single pair of pants that matches the color of my roller skates, which
What?
is like a peach color.
Oh, Okay. Okay. I feel like I don't know enough about fashion. We talked about it a little bit a few episodes ago with Ruby. I talked with Ruby about it, and she'd be able to give you the whole rundown. But that seems awesome. Have you been roller skating?
I mean, it's a very recent thing. I've been roller skating in my house.
Okay, you have to start.
Yeah, you got to
somewhere.
start somewhere, and then I'm gonna go outside soon. I got all my I'm gonna look like a total nerd with my knee pads and my wrist guards and shit,
Yeah.
so I don't fall over.
Safety's pretty cool. uh, no, I think that's great. That's so fun. That's awesome. I can't roller skate. I can barely ice skate.
I bet you could. I can't ice skate. I suck.
Okay, I can ice skate like a tiny bit. Like if I push off and I kind of just like glide, I'm fine. But if I start like trying to chase after people, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you see those guys in the ring just doing like those like smooth, like oh it's so smooth. I get so jealous.
I'm so jealous of them too.
But roller skating's sick. And then once you get good at roller skating, you'll be an amazing ice skater too. Probably transfers over a bit. No.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe. That's cool. Have you been doing any jobs? Anything else?
Other than my unpaid internship, no.
Okay.
I haven't had time to work at all.
Yeah, I know everything's so crazy.
Although I wish I had, because I mean, as I said, unpaid.
Yeah.
I don't have like anything saved. So
Yeah.
have you been working at all?
I have recently been working at a tennis camp, and also teaching private lessons for tennis.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like that's good money in Mill Valley.
It's pretty good. Yeah. It was kind of hard to figure out where to go with courts and everything, but it's like as soon as someone asked on Nextdoor, and my mom's on Nextdoor, and she's just like, hey, my son can do it. He's been teaching. I taught in Santa Monica, like I taught here. Like I can teach lessons. And then like as soon as she put my number up, then like other people saw. So it like spread really quickly, which is kind of cool.
That's nice, yeah.
But I wasn't planning on that at all, and it was just kind of random. So that's just recently what's been happening. But yeah. I wanted to do this thing. This is the other thing. Besides just checking in, I wanted to do this thing. I've never done this before on the podcast.
Oh gosh.
It's called the Cagle Exercise. Now that sounds weirder than it
I know
actually
what that
is. It's not like an exercise.
Okay. Do you know what a Kegel exercise is in reality?
No. This is from Jess Cagle from Entertainment Weekly.
Okay.
And he's a journalist and an interviewer.
How do you spell Kegel?
Cagle.
Okay. I think it might be pronounced slightly differently, but like Kegel exercise spelled K.
Is that like an actual workout?
Or I think that's how it's spelled. Is like, I don't want to say it, but it's like female genitalia exercise.
This is yeah. See, it's not that.
Okay,
it's not that.
Great.
It's definitely not that. Wait, what? Okay. It's called.
What is it?
It's called. His name is Cagle. I don't know what to tell you.
That's really unfortunate.
It's really unfortunate for him. It's called Jess Cagle, from Entertainment Weekly. This is hilarious. But this is Tom Ford.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah,
he's like your best friend. No. I'm kidding.
Uh-huh.
But he interviewed Tom Ford, and I just thought it was some really interesting questions, and it's absolutely no pressure at all. If you want to say pass, say pass. No worries. I feel like I'm hyping it up. It's just a few questions. Okay. It's like personal questions though. It's good.
Oh gosh.
This is number one. Close friends describe me as.
Oh gosh.
It's like one of these.
Well, it depends on what friends.
Any close friends. First thing comes to your mind. No worries. No pressure.
Man.
We're going deep.
We are. I have like a couple words. I don't know if this is like.
It can
these
just
are
be a word.
bad.
It can be a word. It can be a sentence. It can be anything.
I mean, I'm just like thinking of how I'm describing myself. I want to know how my friends are describing me. Different.
Unique.
I wouldn't say unique, just different.
I would describe you as unique.
Okay, I mean, I think I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, no, it is. You're very unique. Strangers describe me as.
From what I've heard, people when they were strangers to me tell me intimidating.
Only I know I am.
Reliant.
My last meal would be what, and I would eat it with whom?
Can it be two people?
Sure.
Okay. Well, actually, no. It's gonna be one person. And my last meal would be. Oh my goodness. Probably ice cream with my sister.
What type of ice cream?
I don't even like ice cream that much. It's just like a feeling. Like it's her favorite food. And we go to like. Okay, probably from this place in Santa Barbara, McConnell's, this like churro cinnamon ice cream. Yeah.
Churro cinnamon. I've never had churro cinnamon ice cream.
It has little pieces of churro in it. That's my favorite kind of ice cream.
Really?
Yes.
That's good. So okay. Nice. That sounds really good, actually. The movie I've seen the most times is.
Well, I'm not a huge rewatcher. If we're going by like legitimate times, probably Tangled, because that was the only movie on our iPad as kids. But no, yeah, it's got to be Tangled. Okay.
That's a good movie. That's like a classic at this point, I think.
Or Bolt, actually. I don't know if you've seen Bolt.
I saw that once, I think a long time ago.
It's a good movie. I would recommend rewatching that one. As a film student, it's really necessary.
Oh my god, it's so meta though, because they talk about filming it, right?
Oh my god, they do. The whole thing's about like a dog who makes films.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I think I'm really good at.
Sticking with myself in terms of like going from my own, like doing what I need, basically. And I don't know, sometimes it gets me called selfish.
Just being true to yourself.
It's being true to myself, but also like understanding when to put myself aside for others and when to not do that. So
that's great. I feel like my best self when I am.
Oh my goodness. And it's so cliche to say this, but comfortable. Like.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say striped pants, but.
Oh. I mean, I was gonna like a lot of self-reflection is like I feel like sometimes I act totally different with different friends. So when I think
I do that sometimes too.
I think almost everybody does, but like I don't know, I've noticed it a lot with myself, and I don't love that. So just when I feel like comfortable to act like myself, so I'm not like, I don't know,
judgment,
acting out everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think everyone can relate to that. I think that's super. Yeah, I feel the same way. I wouldn't be caught dead wearing.
Oh man. Well, as of these days, a Blue Lives Matter shirt. But in the past, God, that's too close to something I actually do wear. Leggings and a crop top.
Leggings and a crop top. That's very cliche, no?
I'd say it's basic. I'm not going to fault the people who do it, but I would never wear it.
Right. Yeah, you're too unique.
No, I don't feel comfortable in that. There you go.
Okay, that too. The thing I've learned to love about myself is
that I don't really feel social pressures. So I don't feel the need to do something to impress others.
In terms of
like, I don't know, this is very specific, but like I notice a lot, like just like with going out in college, like I don't know, it's just I don't know.
There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of influence.
Well, not like peer pressure, like drink this, like that. Yeah. Not like that, but like I just like won't do something if I don't want to, even if my friends are doing it. So.
I love the smell of.
Goodness. Sorry, I'm taking so long to answer all of these.
No, you're doing an amazing job. These are tough questions.
I don't love the smell of smoke that I'm smelling right now from the fires.
You don't love the smell?
I don't.
Okay.
But I do love the smell of my dog after she's been to the cleaner people.
That's what Tom Ford said too. He said he loved the smell of his dog's ears.
Weird. I wouldn't say that.
You wouldn't say that.
No. My dog. The reason I say that is because my dog, like, usually, like, even though she's totally an indoor dog, like, smells pretty bad most of the time. So, like, when she gets cleaned, it's like fantastic. So.
That's great. That's awesome. I could talk about blank for hours on end.
What I've recently learned is that I can talk about, like, philosophies on life.
Ooh,
for hours on
existentialism.
end. Because I did with my friend recently.
That's great. What, there's motorcycles. I'm by a highway. It is what it is. We've accepted this. What about existentialism and life?
Like, what we believe in terms of, like, relationships with other people, in terms of, like, I mean, I went to a religious school, so I've learned how to talk about God.
Right. How was that?
The religious school thing?
Yeah, the religious school thing.
It was hard. I mean, I don't want to say it was hard because all these people were religious.
Yeah.
And it's not like I, like, don't like people who are religious. It's that I wasn't.
We come from a community that's pretty not.
Well,
religious.
yeah. I mean, we come from. I mean,
I don't know about your family, but
lots of Jewish people in Mill
yeah.
Valley, but I haven't met. Yeah, no, I met very few Catholic people. And it's a very, like, we had dorm mass every week, or twice a week. We had it on Sundays and Wednesdays. Every dorm, which is like 20 something dorms, and also there was mass in the basilica.
Just the what?
Basilica. It's like the big church building. Yeah, it was
Cool.
on campus too. It was very pretty. I never actually went in. Oh no, I did go once. I never went to mass though. I mean, why would I? And
Get
like my
closer to
roommate
God.
rolls up and pulls a cross out of her bag and sets it on the counter. I was like, oh no, like we're not gonna get along at all.
Right.
But we did. Like it doesn't.
That's
Like
great.
it literally did not affect anything at all. But I like the reason that it was hard for me was because it was like this shared community bonding experience of everybody going to mass together, everybody having this like we not like everybody went to Bible study, like that's just not something that happened. I mean, some people did, but like they all had this like common mindset that I just did not grasp whatsoever.
Was that something else that maybe made you consider?
Yeah, I
transferring?
knew that even if I had made friends and continued on my journey at Notre Dame, that I would never feel at home really.
You felt like the community had things that you
It's
weren't
just built
aligned
in,
with.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I don't know. I knew that it wasn't gonna work out in the end. Like I would have been perfectly happy. It just wouldn't have been the best.
Mm-hmm.
And not that that's a problem. It's just like after I put in these applications, I felt like I should just go for what I thought was gonna be better in the long run. So.
That makes complete sense. That's so great and so good. Well, Macy, thank you so much for coming on the Kerner Report. I have a few quick announcements before we wrap it up. Follow the Kerner Report podcast YouTube channel for full episodes and TKR podcast clips for clips and highlights. Go to teespring.com/shop/TK Report for the Kerner Report Essentials drop. We have some great stuff on there. So go grab some merch and support the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on, Macy. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you.